Good evening. Yes, my name is Jabu Zwane. Welcome to Monday Motivation. December is two things. It's a moment for us to think about the festivities that are ahead of us, to celebrate the hard work that you've done throughout the year. But another crucial component of December is to think about and to reflect back to the year that was. And this evening, I would like us to think a little bit about how do we look at 2023, but more than that, how do we set ourselves up for an exponential 2024? Now, when we think back to 2023, there were a couple of themes that were quite big in the news space, in the commercial space, in the economic space, in the political space, and globally. And one of those massive topics that were part of 2023 was the topic of artificial intelligence. But of course, along with that, there was an issue of the war. There was an issue of the prices that have been going up globally. There were issues of quite a lot of instability throughout. We know about the current unfortunate, very distressful situation that is happening to the Palestinian people. And so in thinking about the year that was, it's important to think about how do we prepare ourselves for the next year. I'm not going to be talking about New Year's resolution, because for me, I think that the idea, the pseudo excitement about New Year's resolution is partly one of the reasons why so many people don't get any of their resolutions done by the end of the year. I've shared this before, that one of the psychological aspects that happens is that when people decide or talk about what they're going to do, there's a pseudo gratification emotionally that makes them think that they have already done whatever it is that they say they're going to do. And a couple of months go by, after all the excitement, nothing gets done. But if you pay attention to what I'm about to share with you this evening, hopefully you'll be better equipped to prepare yourself for all that is coming up in 2024. AI, ChatGPT, Bard, Gemini, these are some of the terminologies that you've got to be paying attention to. Because with what happened in the November of 2022, with the launch of ChatGPT, technology was given a rocket speed. We've moved from the point where, for example, especially for us who are in the media space, in the content creation space, where we had to pay tens, if not hundreds of thousands of rands to create content. But now, by a click of a button, by connecting and building some kind of an infrastructure that doesn't even cost more than a couple of thousand rands a month, you are able to run an entire process. But that's not the only thing. We've gone into the spaces where there are automations for web designs, for graphic designs. Pretty much everything that can be automated has been given a massive boost. But this is important for us to pay attention to. All those industries that have a high level of human touch, that are human-centric, are the types of industries that ultimately will be the most valuable. Industries that involved effective communication, emotional intelligence, that require conflict resolution, that require human facilitation, such as leadership. These types of industries are going to see tremendous increase in value as more and more of the other industries are getting automated. And I think that's a crucial component for us to pay attention to. So one of the things that you've got to do to prepare yourself for exponential growth in 2024 is to pay attention, of course, to AI, but also to what we've spoken about a couple of months ago, your adaptability quotient. How do you gear yourself up to adapt to the fast-changing, fast-paced world? If you're not paying attention, if you're not acquiring any certification or any qualifications or any competencies in the AI space, your business will be in trouble. Whether it's you personally as an entrepreneur running your own business, or whether it's a small business, you have to have a component in your company where there are people that are dedicated to keeping up to date with the developments within the AI space. And that's where you are able to improve on your adaptability quotient, and then you become more intelligent in ensuring that you don't lose out on whatever economic opportunities, but even more than that, some developments that may pose a threat to your specific business. The second thing that you've got to think about is how are you going to upskill and reskill. Quite a lot of the skills that you have acquired quite a few years ago, a lot of them have already gone out of circulation. It is a proven fact that once every 2 years, information doubles. As a matter of fact, one research stated that by the time that your child finishes second year at university, all the information that they've learned on the first year has already gone out of circulation. And what that basically means that that degree that you took and that you got about 3 or 4 years ago, quite a lot of that information is no longer relevant. There's a lot that has populated the knowledge pool, and you need to ensure that what you know is still relevant. So upskilling and reskilling is important. In your industries, what type of skills are required when you look at the future? Here's the power of AI. If you go on one of those platforms right now and you typed, what can I expect for skills development in my industry in 2024, in 2025, it'll tell you in terms of the predictions what you can do to upskill yourself. So there's no excuse in saying, oh, but I don't know what's going to happen. What am I supposed to do? The third thing that you've got to think about as far as upskilling yourself is your mental, your emotional, your physical, and your spiritual well-being. And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because of all the current chaos that is happening, not only in the world, but how it is impacting our own spheres of operation. Prices have gone up tremendously. Technology has increased at a fast rate. There's quite a lot of instability globally. And all of this is affecting us because of we are globally connected. As much as globalization gives us the leverage, the unfortunate residue of globalization is that we are also impacted by changes that are happening in other parts of the world. That affects our mental well-being. There is a certain sense of anxiety, and that's why then we have to develop mental resilience, mindset resilience, and ensure that emotionally we are self-aware, that we are able to self-regulate, that we don't make any emotional decisions that in the end are going to compromise our well-being, but also compromise our businesses and also put our own family's well-being in jeopardy. So, do you have a plan? Do you have a coach? Do you have a counselor? Do you have a group of friends, a group of people that are trusted where you can process, where you can talk about what some of the things that you're going through? People that are highly experienced that can give you good advice about some of the challenges that you're going through. Because one of the greatest challenges that the world is facing right now is a high level of loneliness, is a high level of isolation, is a high level of feeling like, you're feeling alone. And so it's important then to create that ecosystem of support as part of helping you with your emotional intelligence, with your resilience mindset-wise, with your spiritual well-being, and of course, please pay attention physically to your well-being, because there's going to be high demand on you. As much as there's going to be a lot of automation, but there's also going to be a lot of high physical and demand on you intellectually and physically as well. So, in thinking about everything that's been happening right now, the fourth thing that you've got to think about as far as preparing yourself for 2024 is that you have to do some brainstorming and some planning and have some goals about what you want to achieve next year. I heard this quote once and it really messed up with my mind and it stuck up with me and it's changed my life, that people who are not going very far don't have a plan to get there. And the person made this example. I actually heard it this past weekend. The person made this example and said this: if a person is moving from here, where we are in Houghton, going to Midrand, they don't plan the trip because it's near. But when somebody's going to Cape Town, they have a plan because they're going far. And the reality of the matter is this: if you are going nowhere, then you have no plan. But if you want to get somewhere very far, you better have a plan. And part of that in terms of planning is that you got to have people also that are going somewhere. Because here's another quote that I heard that I like a lot. It says, people who are going nowhere want you to go there with them. So who do you have around you? Are they going somewhere? Do they have plans? Because when you are sharing plans with people who have no plans, they'll think, oh, you're trying to be better than us, and there might be quite a discouraging thing. And one of the factors that you've got to really deeply interrogate in 2024 going forward, if you want to get somewhere in life, begin to interrogate your circle. Begin to interrogate who it is that you are receiving and exchanging life from. If you don't have people that you can account to, that can hold you accountable, you might want to consider that in a form of coaching, mentors I've mentioned, counselor, and people who are highly experienced. And so in thinking about 2024, are you ready? Forget about your resolutions. Because if you cannot look back to 2023 and ask yourself, what is it that made it difficult for me to carry out my resolutions of 2023? You're probably likely to repeat the same behavior, because human beings will live based on patterns. If you don't understand the patterns of behavior that lead to you betraying yourself by not executing on your promises, on the things that you've committed to do, the likelihood is that the same kind of behavior is going to lead to the same kind of results. Because remember what we've been talking about all throughout the year. We've been speaking a lot about mindsets. And we've mentioned that mindsets are those structured categories of thinking that lead to a specific outcome. And if you really want to develop powerful mindsets that can help you to achieve the kind of results that you want for 2023, you need to understand your mindsets. You need to revisit your mindsets. You're probably going to have to develop new mindsets, and you're probably going to have to go through a lot of unlearning to unhinge yourself from some of the behavioral patterns that have led you to a place perhaps that you're not happy about. Here's another thing that's important to think about in 2024. You need to attend to your financial literacy. You need to have financial intelligence. Many of us are able, with our skills, with our qualifications, to generate income and to amass quite a bit of money. But you know where we lose it? We lose it on our financial mindset. And the financial mindset is made up of financial literacy, which is the actual education that helps you and teaches you how money works. But also, it is lost on financial intelligence, which is then the ability to handle your money based on how the money works. It's more than just knowledge, but now it's your ability to execute that. But there's another third component of that is crucial, which is your financial emotional structure. What is your emotional relationship with money? If you don't understand those, if you don't have those three factors, financial literacy, financial intelligence, and you don't understand your financial emotional structure around what money is, the likelihood is that if you are getting any promotions next year, if you're going to amass quite a bit of money because you've improved and upskilled on yourself, and perhaps you've even leveraged AI to 4 times, 10 times the money that you're currently earning, if your mindset, your financial mindset is not sorted out, you're still going to end up wasting it. You still might end up actually with even more debt than you did when you didn't have as much money. And we know the song, right? Or the saying that the more money we have, the more problems we keep, right? So it is important that you try not to handle your financial problems with the same mindset that got you to those financial problems. So let's try and wrap it up a little bit again and look at what we've spoken about today, how to prepare yourself. Prepare yourself for the AI revolution that's already rocket ship that took off in 2023. If any of these terminologies are not familiar to you, Google Bard, Gemini, ChatGPT, Canva, if any of these terminologies that I've mentioned already are not at all familiar to you, it means that you are very much behind and you are likely to be in trouble if you're an entrepreneur, even if you're a professional, and especially also if you're running your own business, because this is what is revolutionizing businesses. The second thing we've spoken about is upskilling and reskilling. Finding out, using the same platforms I've told you about what is it? What are the skills that you need to develop to ensure that you stay relevant and that you don't fall behind? The third thing we've spoken about was about your emotional well-being, your spiritual well-being, your physical well-being, and of course, working also on your mindset. That is crucial as part of ensuring that holistically you are prepared for the chaos that is ensuing currently in the world, but more than that, to understand how you are able to navigate the complexities that are part of your landscape as an entrepreneur, as an individual, as a professional, in whatever capacity that you might find yourself operating in. And then the fourth thing that we've spoken about, or the fifth thing that we've spoken about, was the need to keep up with the trends, to keep up with the industry developments, and to see how those are going to ultimately impact your business. There's so much that can be said. You can come up with resolutions, New Year's resolutions if you want, as absolutely a choice. But I don't know how much New Year's resolutions are helpful if you don't understand your mindsets, you don't understand your behavioral patterns that have gotten you to where you are today. So with all that has been said today, my name is Jabu Zwane. I want to thank you so much for sticking around and being with us all this year and focusing on maybe we've given you a lot of tips that have helped you to change your life, helped you with your business, helped you with your personal life. We're going to come back stronger. We're going to come back more powerful. We're going to come back with more content. We're going to come back with more practical solutions that will help to improve your life. And thank you for being part of this experience. Have a blessed festivities that are coming up. Be responsible. Don't blow up your money. And as you're enjoying yourself, remember 2024 is around the corner. Enjoy the rest of the programming. My name is Jabu Zwane, and good evening.